Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for the GMAT. We have been solving GMAT math problems out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide, the 13th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 282. Page 282, and today is our lesson number 106. The problem that we're going to solve is number 83. Let's take a look at it. We are told that k is an integer between 56 and 66, and the question is very straightforward. The question simply is, what is the value of k? That's all. Let's look at the first statement, see what they give us. In the first statement, they tell us that if k were divided by 2, the remainder would be 1. If k were to be divided by 2, we are told that the remainder would be 1. What do we gather from that? What do we gather from that statement? That if you were to divide a number by 2 and you have a remainder of 1, that tells us, this implies that k cannot be an even number. K cannot be an even number. And that in turn implies that k could be, we know it has to be between 56 and 66. It can be 57, it can be 59, it can be 61, it can be 63, or it can be 65. But we cannot tell exactly what the value of the k is. There is no way of telling, there is nowhere for us to pinpoint the exact value of k. They're not looking for a range, they're not looking for multiple answer, they're looking for precise value. They're asking us what is the value of k. To which our answer would be, how the hell do we know? It could be any one of these. Therefore, the first statement by itself is not enough. First statement by itself is not enough. A, D, B, C, E. Since the first statement by itself does not work, the answer cannot be A, nor can it be D. Now, if you still do not know what I'm doing here, what I just did there, A, D, B, C, E, you hear me say this in every data sufficiency problem. That means that you have not watched data sufficiency intro. Just type in my name Keshwani, and type in data sufficiency intro and watch that video, and you will understand the method, the technique, the methodology to solving these data sufficiency problems in a systematic manner. So that's it. We do not know the value of k. Let's look at second statement. Second statement tells us that if k plus 1 were divided by 3, if k plus 1 were divided by 3, the remainder would be 0. The remainder would be 0. In other words, they're telling us that the k plus 1 is divisible by 3. Is evenly divisible by 3, will have no remainder. Well, let's find out what k plus 1 is. We know the values of k. K can be anything between 56 and 66, so it could be 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, and 66. K could be any of these values. Because we are working on second statement alone, we cannot use anything from the first statement. Did I miss anything? It cannot be 66. It has to be between 56 and 66. It cannot be the end point. So it's anywhere from 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Therefore, pay attention here, okay? Therefore, the k plus 1 that they're talking about, the k plus 1 actually would start with 58. And 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, and 66. Even if I were taking the real exam, the hypothetical statement obviously, I would still actually write it out like this. It takes a few seconds, but it's worth spending the time. It keeps you thinking systematic, it keeps you thinking straightforward, so that there is you want to minimize the chances of confusion, of making a boo-boo, as the technical term goes. So that's your k plus 1. How many of these numbers are such that when you divide it, the remainder is 0? When k plus 1 is divided by 3, the remainder is 0. Well, that will be for 60, and it will be true for 63, and it will be true for 66. Therefore, that tells us that the k could be 59, k could be 59, it could be 62, or it could also be 65. We have the same bloody problem. We cannot pinpoint what k is. The first statement gave us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possible values of k. Second statement is a little bit civilized, a little bit better behaved. It gives us 3 possible values of k, but still it's not good enough. We want to be able to pinpoint one possible value of k. What is k? To which we cannot answer, to which we have no answer. Therefore, second statement by itself is also no good. Answer cannot be b either. Let's put them together. Now, when we put the two statements together, what we are hoping is that this kind of questions is very typical of the GMAT. What we are hoping is that when we look at the number of entries in the first list and the number of entries in the second list, there will only be one entry that will appear in both of them. And when I was taking this, when I was doing this problem, in my haste, I picked answer C. I thought putting the two statements together did the job, because I found that 59. How can we put it so that it's salient, so that it's easy to see? 59. I'm going to put in a red marker here. 59 appears in this list, and the 59 appears in this list. And in my haste, I thought I was done. Alas, I was not done. There is one more number that appears in both lists, which is 65. I missed the bloody 65. So now, putting the two statements together, we still don't know what k is. K could be 59 or it could be 65. So which one is it? We do not know. Therefore, the answer is E. Therefore, the answer, unfortunately, is E. Putting the two statements together gets us nowhere. That's it. We are done with this one. Let's do the next one. Problem number 84. I'll give you a couple of seconds in case you want to pause or do whatever it is that you want to do with it. Problem number 84 is a very straightforward problem. Let's take a look at it. In problem number 84, they tell us what is the value of n in the list above. So they're giving us, is that 84? Sorry. Just give me 1 second, I'm a bit confused here. Oh, I missed 82, didn't I? I did 83 just now, but we haven't done 82. Let's do 82 now. Because yesterday I did problem number, yesterday on day number 104, I did problem number 81. That was yesterday. So we haven't done 82. Oh, it's a good thing I caught myself. 82 is what we're going to do right now. It says R is positive. We are told in problem number 82, we are told R is positive, we are told that S is positive. S is more than 0. And the question simply is R over S less than S over R? Now, as I've told you before and many times, I'm very sloppy. I'm sloppy only when it is when I have the luxury of being sloppy. When we know that it's not going to do any harm. By sloppy, I meant I mix up the capital letters and the small letters because it's a very simple problem. It's not going to do any harm. If there was any potential of confusion, I would have been more careful. So don't worry about it. Sometimes I use small r, sometimes I use big r's. Okay, so that's it. The question is this ratio less than that? In the first statement, they tell us that R over 3S equals 1/4. Now this is a very simple problem. This is a babyish problem. Cross multiply the two and you will find, well actually not cross multiply, multiply both sides by 3. If you multiply both sides by 3, the 3 drops out and we end up with r over s equals 3/4. R over s equals 3/4. Well, if r over s equals 3/4, then that means that s over r equals 4/4. So this is 3/4, and of course 3/4 is going to be less than 4/4. The first statement does the job very, very simply. A, D, B, C, E. Since the first statement by itself is enough, the answer cannot be B, C, or E. It will have to be either A or D. Let's look at second statement. In the second statement, they tell us that S equals R plus 4. Well, if S equals R plus 4, then obviously S is greater than R. S is greater than R, and therefore, if S is greater than R, then S over R, of course, is going to be greater than R over S. I don't know how else to explain it. It's too simple. It is too simple. If S equals R plus 4, that implies that R is less than S. R is less than S, and if R is less than S, the numerator here is less than the denominator, and here is just the other way around. So second statement also is enough to answer the question if this fraction is less than that one, and therefore the answer is D. This is one thing that I've never understood in these questions. They go from, I don't know whose quotation it is, who said it first. I heard someplace, and I have no way of knowing this thing, but I read something. I believe I may be misremembering it, but I think it's the quote from Napoleon. I believe that they go from sublime to ridiculous. One problem that they give you that are so challenging, that are so interesting, it makes you think, and then they give you the very next problem, which is simply ridiculous. This falls, unfortunately, not in the category of sublime. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye now.